Noah Carter sat in a small room full of screens and blinking lights. He worked deep inside Earth's Space Defense Center in Colorado. It was quiet, as always. Most days nothing important happened. Today was different. At first the signal looked like noise, random pulses from deep space. But Noah had seen something strange. The signal repeated. Not a sound or voice, but a countdown. He ran it again. Same pattern. Over and over. He showed his supervisor, but they laughed. Probably a dying star, they said. But Noah didn't stop. He checked the direction. The signal came from the edge of the solar system. 2 days later, giant ships appeared near Pluto. The ships were dark and moved fast. More than 1,000 of them. They didn't respond to calls, no messages, no demands, just silence. Telescopes showed strange symbols on their hulls. Nothing human. A name was given quickly. The Zirek. Panic started to spread on Earth. People wanted answers. The world leaders spoke on live broadcasts. We are in control, they said. But no one believed them. Soldiers were called. Fleets were launched. Every space station, every moon base was put on alert. Still, the Zirek said nothing. They just kept coming. Noah was called to a top-level briefing. He showed his findings again. The pattern, the timing, the silence. A general leaned over and asked, "What do they want?" Noah didn't answer. He didn't know. But he had a bad feeling. "They are not here to talk," he said. "They're here to take everything." The next morning, the Zirek reached Saturn. Satellites went offline. The defense teams tried to scan them, but nothing worked. It was like the ships were made to hide everything. No energy signature, no heat, just cold black metal floating in space. People watched from Earth on giant screens. Some prayed, some ran, others waited in fear. Then the Zirek moved again, toward Earth. The space fleet stood ready. Thousands of human ships, small and large. The numbers were clear. For every human ship, the Zirek had 100. But humans were brave. They had fought before. They would fight again. Still, Noah couldn't shake the fear. This wasn't war. This was something worse. A silent, cold force was coming. Not for land, not for peace, just for silence. And Earth had only days left. The Zirek ships stopped near Saturn. They did not send a message. They did not move for one whole day. People on Earth watched the news with fear. Nobody knew what the aliens were waiting for, but everyone could feel something was coming. Then it started. A giant flash of blue light came from one of the alien ships. Within seconds, Earth's largest space station near Mars disappeared. Not damaged, gone. Nothing left. No warning. No chance to fight back. The Earth Command tried to respond. They sent ships forward, but they were slow. The Zirek moved faster, like shadows in space. Lieutenant Avery Brooks stood on the deck of the space cruiser Resolute. She had trained for many years. She had seen battle before. But this was different. She watched on the screen as 2 friendly ships were destroyed before they even got close to the enemy. The Resolute was ordered to stay back and protect Earth's orbit. Still, she knew it would not be enough. Back on Earth, panic spread fast. People left cities. Planes were full. Roads were blocked. There was nowhere to hide. The Zirek were not attacking land yet, but everyone knew they would. World leaders sent out more messages. "Stay calm," they said. But their voices shook. They were afraid too. Satellite connections began to break. Communication with the Moon and Mars stopped. Earth's space network was falling apart. No one could see clearly what was happening out there. The Zirek were jamming signals. One by one, the eyes of Earth were going dark. In the sky, human ships began to fall. Some tried to fight. They used missiles and lasers, but the alien shields were too strong. The Zirek never missed. Every shot they fired hit its mark. No one had ever seen weapons like this. On the ground, people watched from rooftops and hills as burning pieces of human ships fell from the sky like stars. Families held hands. Children cried. Soldiers got ready, but even they looked unsure. Earth was losing, fast. Then something strange happened. The Zirek stopped again. Their ship spread out and floated over Earth like a dark cloud, but they did not land. They did not destroy cities. They just waited. Avery Brooks looked at the dark space ahead. "Why are they waiting?" she whispered. No one had the answer. The enemy had come in silence, killed without a word, and now watched without moving. It felt like they were not just here to win. It felt like they were watching a funeral. Days passed. The Zirek ship stayed above Earth like a shadow. They did not move. They did not speak. It was like the whole planet was being watched by silent eyes. Every city waited. Every soldier stood ready. But nothing happened. Then people began to notice something strange. The armies stopped marching. The ships stopped flying. The leaders stopped talking. The world went quiet. Too quiet. Noah Carter sat in a bunker under Colorado. He looked at his screen. There were no new commands from Earth Command, no new orders. Everything had gone dark. It was like Earth had given up. But Noah did not believe that. He believed something else was going on. He opened an old channel, one not used anymore. He sent a message. "Is anyone out there?" After a few minutes, a message came back. "We're still here." It was from Leo Martin, a former soldier hiding in the ruins of Detroit. He was part of a small group. They were not running. They were hiding. And they were planning. Leo had seen how the Zirek moved. Always the same way. No change. No emotion. They had power, but not surprise. Humans still had that. Other messages came in. From farms in Kansas. From caves in Alaska. From the deep jungles. Humans were still alive. They were not gone. They had just gone quiet on purpose. In a broken house in Chicago, Ellie Grant cleaned a drone she had built using parts from old machines. She was not a soldier. She had been a nurse. But now, she led a team of 10. They had maps. They had tools. And most important, they had each other. All around the world, humans were not giving up. They were changing. No more big armies, no more open attacks, just small groups working in secret. They used the land, the weather, the shadows. They knew their world. The Zirek did not. Noah called it the empty resistance. On the surface, it looked like nothing was left. But under the ground, in the forests and behind the silence, something was growing. A fight. A new kind of war. The Zirek had come with numbers. But numbers did not scare these humans anymore. Now it was their turn to watch from the shadows, and soon they would strike. The night was quiet. Too quiet. In the dark hills outside Detroit, Leo Martin stood with his team. They wore black clothes and carried homemade gear. They had no tanks, no big guns, but they had a plan. Their target was a small Zirek station built on top of an old power plant. It was not well guarded. The aliens thought humans had given up. That was their mistake. Leo gave a hand signal. The team moved. They stayed low and moved through the shadows. Ellie Grant waited nearby with her drone, hidden in the back of a broken truck. The drone was small, made from farming tools and scrap metal, but it worked. At Leo's signal, Ellie sent the drone forward. It flew low and quiet. The Zirek didn't see it. When it reached the alien gate, it dropped a small device. The lights on the station blinked, then went dark. The power was gone. That was the moment. Leo and his team rushed in. The Zirek were slow to respond. They had never seen humans attack this way. They fired back, but it was too late. The team had already planted charges. A loud boom shook the ground. Fire lit the sky. The station was gone. From space, the explosion looked small, but it meant something big. It was the first real win. Across the world, other groups saw the news. They knew it was time. That same night, 23 alien stations were attacked. Some were hit by bombs. Others were destroyed by tricks. Power lines turned into weapons, water pipes turned into traps. The Zirek could not understand how it was happening. They had more ships. They had stronger weapons. But they did not have the human spirit. In the HFY desert, a group used mirrors to blind alien scouts. In the mountains, snow was used to bury machines. In the cities, humans made noise in one place, then attacked from another. It was chaos. The kind of chaos only humans could make. The Zirek began to lose control. Their ships started pulling back to safer zones. Their leaders grew nervous. They had come expecting an easy win. Now they faced an enemy that did not play by the rules. Tra. Her bunker, Ellie smiled for the first time in weeks. "We're not done," she said. "We're just getting started." Deep under the surface of the moon, Olivia Reed sat in front of a glowing screen. Her hands moved quickly, typing commands and checking signals. Around her were other engineers and techs, all working in silence. This was Earth's last hidden command center. The aliens didn't know it existed. Olivia was not a soldier. She was a computer expert. Years ago, she helped build a new kind of technology, neural sync. It let small human teams connect their minds during battle. They could think and move like one. It had been a secret. Now, it was being used. In a cave in the mountains, one of these teams prepared for a mission. Each person wore a small chip behind their ear. When turned on, their thoughts would link. They could move without talking, fight without confusion. The Zirek could not understand it. They fought as single units, but humans were becoming something else. With Olivia guiding them from space, missions started happening faster. A team in Africa took down a large alien tower. Another group in Europe stole Zirek tech and used it to build traps. In South America, teams made fake signals that confused alien ships, sending them in the wrong direction. The aliens tried to listen in, but they could not break the human code. Olivia used fast-changing patterns and moving signals. It was like smoke, there one moment, gone the next. Even the smartest Zirek minds couldn't keep up. Fear started to spread among the Zirek. Their soldiers hesitated. Their leaders grew angry. They tried to crush the humans harder. But that only made things worse. Each time they hit back, more humans rose to fight. Some Zirek began to ask questions. Why did humans keep fighting? Why didn't they give up? The answer was simple. Humans were not fighting to win a battle. They were fighting because they refused to lose. Back in her station, Olivia looked at the growing list of successful missions. "They're learning faster than we are," one officer said. Olivia shook her head. "No," she said. "They're not learning. They're reacting. We're leading." She watched as another mission went live. The team moved like one body, striking a target and vanishing before the aliens could respond. It looked like magic, but it was just humans, working together, thinking together, refusing to stop. The war had changed. Now it wasn't about size. It was about speed, mind, and heart. The Zirek were angry. Their leaders met inside their largest ship, a dark and massive vessel floating near Jupiter. Admiral Jorvac sat at the center. His face was calm, but his hands were tight. He had lost more ships in the last week than during their last 10 wars. The humans were everywhere and nowhere. They did not follow a plan the Zirek could understand. They struck fast and vanished like ghosts. The Zirek had the numbers, but it did not matter anymore. On Earth, Leo Martin and his team moved through the ruins of a city. They had just taken out another alien base. This time they had used the Zirek's own machines against them. They reprogrammed the patrol bots and made them attack their own guards. Leo looked up at the night sky. He could see the Zirek ships above, but they were farther away now. "They're pulling back," he said. Ellie Grant nodded. "They're scared," she answered. Across the world, this was happening more and more. Alien forces started to leave the ground and return to space. They thought it would be safer up there, but humans were ready for that too. They sent small ships with cloaking tech, ships built in secret, using stolen alien parts. Olivia Reed sent the orders from the moon. Every team had a job. Every attack was timed. It wasn't just war now, it was a message: you can't break us. Admiral Jorvac watched the reports. A station destroyed in the Arctic. A command ship hacked near Venus. An entire squad missing near Australia. He gave a new order. Strike hard, show power, scare the humans. The Zirek attacked a small town. They destroyed homes and took prisoners. They wanted to show humans that resistance would cost lives. But it backfired. The attack only made the humans angrier. More people joined the fight. Families, workers, students all became soldiers, not with big guns but with willpower and ideas. They helped build traps, made fake signals, and hid supplies. Everyone had a part. Even the Zirek soldiers started to question things. Some stopped fighting. Some sent secret messages. A few even tried to speak to humans. Back in space, Admiral Yorvak stared at the stars. "We came with force," he said to himself. They answered with something stronger. His second-in-command asked, "What is it they have?" Yorvak looked down at Earth. "They have no limit." The final battle took place near Neptune. The Zirek had pulled most of their ships there, hoping to make a strong last stand. Their fleet was still huge. Hundreds of ships lined up in perfect order. Their weapons were ready. Their shields were strong. But they were nervous. In a quiet control room on the moon, Olivia Reed gave the signal. Across space, dozens of human ships moved into position. They were smaller, fewer, and slower. But that didn't matter. They were not meant to fight in the normal way. The humans sent false signals, fake fleets, and ghost images. The Zirek systems couldn't tell what was real anymore. They saw thousands of human ships, but most of them were just tricks. The real attack came from the sides, from below, from inside their own lines. Some human ships exploded on purpose, sending out EMP blasts that shut down Zirek shields. Other teams used hacked Zirek tech to take control of enemy drones. Confusion spread fast. Inside his ship, Admiral Yorvak shouted orders, but the crew could not keep up. The Zirek had never trained for this kind of battle. Nothing was clear. No pattern made sense. It felt like the humans were everywhere at once. Then came silence. The humans stopped firing. All at once. For a moment, space was still. No lasers, no noise, only the quiet sound of damaged ships floating in the dark. Admiral Yorvak looked at the screen. All around his ship he saw human vessels, real ones this time, closing in. Not to destroy him, just to show they could. He was surrounded, not by fire but by proof. He pressed the record button on his ship's system. His voice was tired. "We outnumbered them 100 to 1, he said. It didn't count. The message was sent to every Zirek ship, then to Earth, and finally, he gave the order to retreat. The Zirek left. Slowly, their ships turned and began to move out of the solar system. No one chased them. The humans simply watched them go. Back on Earth, people came out of bunkers and basements. They walked into the sunlight for the first time in weeks. There were no cheers, no big celebration, just quiet steps, shared looks, and deep breaths. They had survived, not because of weapons, not because of numbers, but because they never gave up.